Good evening. I'm joining you live where there's a breaking story in this small community. Now there's a... Oh, you broke my nose! Up yours, pal. I have news to deliver. I'm Carl Smithereen, and I quite enjoy it.
As you might have guessed, I take my news reporting very seriously. Having grown up in a world where I believed movies and fiction to be true, the news for me, well, it's like a breath of fresh air. I mean, you have your finger on the pulse of reality 24/7. Being a part of world events as they unfold, and then reporting that to your fellow man. I mean, for me, it's the ultimate thrill. The news comes as naturally to me as reflecting light does to people with no hair. It's what I was born to do. I will either get the attention of every person on this planet, or I'll die trying. Now, a lot of people were very resentful towards me in the beginning because they thought that I just bought my way into MediaOne. I assure you, that's not how it went down at all. In fact, the truth is much more interesting. Now, I'm on my way to go see Miss Henrietta Maplethorpe. She's the owner of MediaOne, the station I currently have my eye on. That place is state-of-the-art, but it flies under the radar because of its geriatric programming. What she's done with the place is a crime. I don't know who they're catering to. Like the almost dead? Why am I brittle? I can't imagine spending the amount of money that they have, only to turn out a checklist on how to die. I would love to get my hands on it. You just have to find her first. Now, she lives at an unlisted address in the middle of nowhere. The place is surrounded by electrified fences, probably wild animals, and God only knows what else. But I'm prepared to face it. I'm gonna charm the pants off her. Well, not literally. Now, she comes from old Florida money. I did my homework. Her family's been around since the dawn of man. Well, since the dawn of air. The problem with people like that is, when you're that wealthy, sometimes an offer of money just isn't that interesting. I mean, these are the kinds of people that like really weird stuff, you know, like they want you to conjure up a bird to come and eat jello out of their belly button or something, or dance a jig around a fire while doused in gasoline. Something tells me that today's not going to be easy. I pray someone's watching over me. Middle of nowhere, check. Electrified fence, check.
Excuse me.
Yes,
Hello, I'm looking for a Miss Henrietta Maplethorpe.
that would be me.
Ah, oh, it's fantastic to see you.
Oh,
Yes, yes.
and who am I? Who am I?
I'm sorry, I just have to touch it. I'm Carl Smithereen. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
yes, thank you.
Yes.
Yes,
Hi, so do you do your own gardening?
yes, I do. And this plant here
Fascinating.
is a very exotic plant. It's just one of a kind, and I'm trying really hard to get it. It's a real Philosphere.
Can I touch it?
Well, yes, but be careful. It has a wonderful blossom.
It's an
Can't get it
odor.
to bloom now.
That's terrible.
Yes.
I understand you're old, but I have a presentation I'd like to make for you, if you don't mind. Would you mind a minute?
But
Maybe
not-
2 minutes. You won't know the difference.
Oh.
You're elderly. Very excited.
Well, I've not only made it on the property, I've found her. She actually does manual labor. Alright, showtime.
This is your old lover. You know what this is? This is hoop. 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 You want this. This should be your new lover. Well, that's fantastic. Now, Guy Buzzer. That's your anchor right now. What do you think of him? No. No, he is cancer. 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 But we need to be thinking, no, diver, no. Instead, me, you and I. We are happy together. Yes. Yes. So, Miss Maplethorpe, what do you think?
I'm a card player.
Oh, really? What's your fancy? You poker, blackjack, baccarat, Caribbean stud.
Go fish.
How very geriatric of you. So my entire future, my news future, hangs in the balance of a game of Go Fish.
That's correct.
That's great. Well, let's get a few things straight. The building
Very
itself.
well.
Does it have a working elevator?
Yes, it does.
And it has a full parking garage?
Yes, it has a full parking garage.
And you would say it's state of the art?
Yes, that and a bag of chips.
Well, that's lovely shuffle up indeed. That's it, yes. Yeah, that's fair. It's good mix. Have you any fives?
Go fish. Do you have any queens?
Have you any sevens?
Go fish. Do you have any jacks?
Have you any
Go fish. 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 Go fish.
kidding me? Woman, I have all the cards. I have all of them. Here, have them. I have a 10, a jack, a joker, 2, an ace, whatever you want. I lose. What do you want? Go fish. Fish. Fish, stupid fish. I have it all. I lose. What do you want from me?
Well, you're a poor loser.
Laughing at me. She's laughing at me. It's only my whole dream down the toilet. You laugh away, Laffy. Laugherson.
I don't want to give up my station. I want to keep it.
Well, madam,
And I will keep it now.
that makes you a fool. Ha!
That was a great presentation, Mr. Smithereen.
No, it wasn't great. I've lost my entire dream on a game of Go Fish.
But I kept my station.
That's super.
And I wanted to keep my station.
Fantastic. We're all happy for you, aren't we? Listen, would it change anything if I told you you had beautiful teeth?
Well, I appreciate that, but it really doesn't change anything.
But I like your essence. Does that change anything? I
No.
can't believe this is happening.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I've been driving around in circles for hours now. Well, frankly, I'm a little distracted. They may not be circles. It could be any irregular shape, I don't know. There's this horrible feeling in the pit of my stomach. I think this is what you people refer to as disappointment. Which is really too bad. I really had my heart set in the building that MediaOne's in. I love that place. I wanted to put in this brand new studio, with giant monitors. And it was going to have places, for the text to scroll across, making it look all newsy. But because I am me, I do have one backup plan. I got a phone call about a week ago from a guy in Miami who's the owner of some snazzy little station down there. And he's really anxious to sell. Now, he sent along a picture of this place, and I have to say, if it's half as beautiful as it is in this picture, well, this might end up being a steal. Maybe this is the universe trying to make it up to me. Now that I think about it, it makes a lot of sense. I think it's time for a road trip. Do you remember that disappointment I spoke of? I'm glad to say that it's past. Yeah, it might be over it. But the point is, it does happen, you know? It's like the resent I was telling you about in the beginning. People just naturally resent wealthy people. They assume that everything is handed to us and that we never experience a moment's unhappiness. That's not true. This just goes to show you. We're the same, you and I, you know? With just a little bit of perspective, you know, all of your problems can just sort of fade away. Take, for example, the guy I saw on the billboard on my drive down. I mean, you know, he's a sweaty pirate in the middle of nowhere trying to sell deodorant. But I have to say, he looks pretty happy about it.
My entire future is set over a game of Go Fish. I have this right?
That's correct.
Let's see.
Absolutely.
All right. Does the building have a working elevator?
Yes.
And it has a full parking garage?
Yes.
And the technology is state of the art?
Yes. And a bag of chips.
It's all that in a bag of chips. Yes.
One more time.